And so to the next question, the next question will be about the difference between buying from a family, a developer, or an individual. Because I have seen options from families, individuals, and big developers. Which of these is the safest?
Hmm. That's a fantastic questions, and each one has its pros and cons. You understand? And I'll start by talking about the individuals. For individuals, often faster. Transaction is often faster, but the title history must be clean. It must be very, very clean. You understand what I mean by clean? So you need to ask when and how they got the land. Ask questions
To avoid this
to avoid stories that touches
wahala.
the heart. It may be someone, when it is an individual, you might actually be selling someone else's property.
If you
So
know
you need
what I
to
mean.
ask questions when it comes to individuals. Ask questions, and if you still revert us to your previous questions about verifying documents, also ask for the right documents and verification of this title of this document
And the
and
land or the
eh,
property.
exactly. And also for the families, family land, again, I would say again, because it is high risk. That's why most people even prefer to buy from a developer than the family. They don't want to deal
Family.
directly with the family. So, you need consent from all the principal family, the key family members. You
Mm.
need their consent. You just don't meet one person. You just don't even meet the head of the family.
And say, oh, I have the land to sell, or come
Uh,
and buy,
you
and
need
then
to
you,
see.
oh,
Okay, we are still getting
I
that.
mean,
I will create a separate topic for that and for
okay,
what to do when you are dealing with the family.
that would be nice. Because I mean, we've seen it happen.
Mhm.
A land or a property, we've seen people fight over it.
They will sell it to different people, many
Exactly.
people. So, but you need to. I'm not saying you cannot buy from them, but it is a high risk. It is a high risk. So you need the
Yeah,
consent from all
you
the
have the
family
mind.
members, of course now, or else someone might show up later and say this property is mine, or they will tell you that it is not for this family, it's for this social
Some
family. Maybe it is
family.
family that has different trees, different
Mm,
branches. You understand?
mm,
They have different branches, and they've already divided the land.
mm.
But you see one family tree selling other people's land,
Okay.
and at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it has
Because
become
I
a
mean,
lawsuit.
we've seen it. You know how they write it on the walls. This land belongs
Belongs
to
to
so 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 so, so you don't
exactly,
fall victim.
exactly. And another important thing you need to also note is
Okay.
you should ensure that there is no fight, there's no dispute among the family, especially when it comes to land.
Tug of
There are
war.
some family that they are not in terms with each other. So if one of them should take a particular decision, the other will kick against it.
True.
So such family, you need to be very, very cautious when dealing with them.
True.
And lastly, developers. Developers, they actually have more structure. They have more structure. They are developed. Let me put it like that. The developers are
Yeah.
developed. They have
Mm-hmm.
structures. The structures have been put in place, but don't assume. Don't assume they have approvals.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said ask
The right
questions, ask
questions.
valid, important questions. Ask whether they have the approvals, because many may even sell government acquired property. And the moment a developer doesn't have a layout, an approved layout,
Layout.
that means there's more to that, because
Mm.
government will never approve a layout on a property that is on government
Okay.
acquisition
Mm.
or a committed land. We never get approval on those things. So there are some little questions you need to ask, which are very, very important.
They're not little. If they are important, they are not
Yeah, yeah, no,
little.
no, no.
They are
I'm just
valid
saying, I'm just
questions.
saying sometimes you look at
Mm.
those questions as if they are little, as if they really do not matter, but
Mm.
they have a lot of importance.
Thank you very much. And
Welcome.
so moving on to the fourth question, I would want you to, enlighten me on the hidden cost because if I have a budget of 10 million naira,
Mm.
what are the hidden costs that I should know?
Hmm. Oh, like hidden cost. When it comes to hidden cost,
Okay.
there are a lot of stories. I've met with different buyers that they
Mhm.
come to me and start lamenting that, oh, I want my refund. These people did not tell me that
True.
there's this money I have to pay. I only thought I would just pay for the
By the
land and I
land.
will assume possession immediately. Only for them to tell me that we need to pay this, I will need to pay that. In fact, sometimes the money you need to pay will be more than or
Mm,
almost the cost of the land,
mm,
which is actually preposterous. It's crazy. So there are some, but you as a buyer, there are
okay.
some things you also need to note, which may come up. That's some payments which may come up.
Mm,
For instance, I'll start by saying legal fee. Forget the fact that I'm a lawyer, but you must also factor that in. Your
okay.
legal fee. Legal fee is usually like about 10%
Or
under the law.
or
ten
ten
percent of the
percent on the
property.
cost of the property.
Yes, 10%. But nowadays, you just I mean they start negotiating five, but under the law, under
Ten
the
percent.
regulation, it's 10%. And then also agency fee too. Also factor in your agency fee. You always pay them. They don't play with their money.
At all.
They don't. They,
At all.
they call it commission. They don't
Mm,
pay with their commission. So also, while acquiring it or while planning to acquire a land,
okay.
also consider survey plan. You need to do your survey plan.
Mm,
Even though the land may have a survey, but
uh-huh.
you still need to do that survey in your own name.
Oh.
Yes, you need to do that survey. So sometimes some people do just ordinary survey, while some do the registered
Start
survey.
survey.
Yes. So registered survey are quite expensive than the normal survey. So you should be looking at about for your registered survey, you should be looking about 200,000 naira to 1 to 2 million naira, depending on the location and
Location.
depending on the development of that property.
Fair
So
enough.
then also development levy. For
Mm,
instance, most real estate companies,
okay.
they ask for development levy. The development is they are not free. The road network, the light, the
Drainage
water, the drainage
system.
system, they are not free. So you will need to also factor that in. You pay for them also. And also, most importantly, after you have purchased your property,
Okay.
your title registration, you need to register your title. It is also very, very important.
Mm,
Get your CFO, get your governor's consent. They are very, very important. You need to factor them in. So I advise you to keep to buffer maybe about 10, 15, 20% of the property price, you know, just set that aside. So in case
oh,
all this cost comes out, you'll be able to address them as they comes.
okay.
Mm.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So moving on to the fifth question.
Mm.
Hmm. When it comes to receipts, or when it has to do with receipts,
Mm.
can I just trust just the receipts or WhatsApp chat? What if the seller gives me a receipt and we have WhatsApp proof of
Mm.
everything, of all the discussion and all of that? Would that be enough?
Yeah, that is very fantastic question. Very important.
Yes, because most times
Uh,
we see people to be like, oh, we have chats. We still spoke about it yesterday, this and this, and the person promised me, oh, today I would issue you a receipt and all of that, and then it becomes a story.
you know, I said it earlier. I said receipts is just a proof of payment and nothing more.
Mm,
It is a proof of payment. It does not show that the ownership or the interest in that property has transferred to you or to a new buyer.
mm,
So it just shows that I paid a particular sum of money. It might even show that you have not even finished paying up for the land,
mm,
just partial payment.
mm.
So it really doesn't show that there has been a transfer of ownership or interest on that property to another person. So if um, you tender your receipt
Okay.
as a proof of ownership, then I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to tell you, it is a no-no. It is a no-no. The law doesn't recognize that. You cannot present that in court and tell the court that you own this property with a mere receipt. So that's why you need a sales agreement, you need your deed of assignment. Your sales agreement is when you have some obligation to, as a seller, to fulfill before the actual transfer of interest. And most importantly, you need your deed of assignment. It is that deed that shows that the interest has already passed from the previous owner to the new person. That's the buyer. You understand now? So receipt is just by the way.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And so just to add this, if you are relying on WhatsApp and receipts, you're setting yourself up
For future litigation.
Exactly. Just take it from us like that. So thank you very much.